What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Title Boxing Cobra Reflex Bag. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so today I have this Title Boxing King Cobra Reflex Bag we'll be doing a full detailed review on. This has been a long time coming. I actually I've had this reflex bag for about 2 months now. I've been using it on and off here at home in my garage between working out at home and going to the gym. You guys can obviously see in the corner over there, I have the ringside version. I will be doing a comprehensive comparison between the two and letting you guys know which one I think is better, which one's my personal favorite. But for now, we'll go over this reflex bag, show you guys what is included with this and the pros and the cons of this reflex bag. So as you can see here, it comes all is fully assembled in the box. It came just like this from Title Boxing. It comes with a box that's about 4 feet in length and is about the diameter of the base right there. Obviously that metal plate has to fit in the box. So if you were to order this, it actually arrives in the mail through Title Boxing. It took about a week for me to get it. And again, the box is a little bit on the larger side, but the actual reflex ball, including the pole, isn't very heavy. There's not a lot of weight to it, obviously. And just to show you, the base of it comes with this metal plate right here. It's a steel plate with 4 holes. So you have several ways you can mount this to the floor to secure it. Title Boxing used to have a weight bag that you can buy included, which was $350. But they don't offer that option anymore. The only thing that comes on this website is this single option right here, which is $299. So 300 bucks for this reflex bag, if you're wondering. So you can mount it to the floor. If you do have anchors, you can drill into your concrete floor and mount it in right here into the 4 holes, which is to me the best way to do it, the most secure and the least amount of vibration. You can also use water-filled or sand-filled bags, but you're going to need at least about 130 to 140 pounds, in my opinion, to make sure that the base is secure so it doesn't jiggle around. I'm actually using these Olympic style weight plates over there that you can see. Total weight I have over here, this is going to be a 45 and 435, so 30, 60, 90, 120 plus 4, that's going to be 140 plus a 45, so 185 pounds if my math isn't off of weight. I did a little extra overkill with my weight just because I wanted to make sure it doesn't vibrate around. You can usually get away with around 140 to 145 pounds, and that should be good for you right there. I'll explain what these foam pads are here in a second. So anyhow, you do have the metal plate that comes up right here. And then it has kind of a nice glossy black finish to it. You do have this adjustment knob right here, which is adjustable for the height. You can go as low as 4 feet, which is about 48 inches, and you can go as high as 55 inches in height. So this is what the adjustment knob right here is for. The big drawback I found with this compared to the ringside version, which I don't really like, is there's no actual holes in this pole. So when you're screwing this down, you're actually just screwing it right into the metal, as you can see here. So what that ends up doing is you get like these little marks in the metal from it screwing in. I wish they drilled a hole in there, that way when you screwed it in, it went right into the hole and secured it. So maybe that's something I'm going to do later on and modify it. And then you do have this automated grades 9-inch steel spring right here that you can see that has some good rebound to it, which I'll show you here after I mount it to the floor. You do have that steel spring. You do have this Velcro foam collar, and basically what this is it basically helps if you're off your target a little bit and you end up going a little bit too low, you don't jack up your gloves, or if you're doing this open-handed, you don't have any gloves on, if you somehow go too low, you don't injure your hand or break your hand on the metal that's underneath this. So you can see it has an actual metal pole that's underneath that. So you do have the foam collar, and then you do have this 8-inch foam infused foam ball that is mounted to the pole using a Phillips screw with this stainless steel washer. Now this ball, just like the ringside one, is a nice firm foam. There's no inflation needed with this, which I like a lot. So again, you can see the 8-inch foam ball. you do have the foam collar, a 9-inch spring, the adjustable knob right here that is all welded right there, and you can unscrew or screw that in. And then obviously you have this mounting plate at the bottom. Now, if you're wondering why I have this foam mat, is because without it, even with all of those weights on this bottom base, I found that it held it secure, but it vibrated a ton and it was really annoying and super loud. So I actually went to Home Depot and got this foam mat over in the flooring section. I think it was like 15 bucks for the mat. I actually cut it and I'm using that. And so I'm using that mat. I cut it in half. You can see that I actually already used it. I kind of cut a hole in the middle of it that I'm gonna slide over. And then I got these little foam pieces in the hardware section that I put in between the plates to reduce vibration. So I'll show you guys how I installed everything, and then we'll start using this bag to see how it works. What's up guys, Carlo here, and today I'm excited to bring you guys a review of this Title Boxing Cobra Reflex Bag. You can get this Reflex Bag from TitleBoxing.com for $299, so $300. It comes in this single form. They usually actually sell this for 350 bucks. There's a second version where you can get a weighted bag that you can fill with either sand or I believe water to weigh it down. But you can currently see that I'm using some Olympic style weight plates. I have about 185 pounds of weight at the bottom of the base. As you guys saw earlier in the close-up video, the base has a plate at the very bottom that you can anchor down to the floor. So you have a couple of options in terms of how you want to anchor this thing down. The best option in my opinion, and the most stable for when you're hitting it, is to be able to drill into concrete and then use some anchors to anchor it into the floor. That's the best way. That's the kind of the way you get without having to worry about any kind of vibration. The second option is that Title Boxing actually sells a weighted bag you can fill with sand, and I believe it's about 140 pounds of weight, which you can put at the bottom. Or if you're like myself and you might have some weights laying around your garage, you can go that method as well. But make sure that they are Olympic style weight plates, because if they're the smaller kind, the diameter of the inside hole won't go around the pole of this reflex bag. So make sure that it is Olympic style weights. Title recommends it about 140 pounds minimum of weight to keep this thing nice and solid. I put about 185 pounds. I just had that amount of weight laying so that I have just a lot of weight on there to keep everything nice and stable. Now, one big flaw I found with this Cobra bag before I go any further was that I had issues with vibration. Now, with 185 pounds on here, it keeps everything nice and stable. The issue is if you're using metal weight plates, there's a lot of vibration when you hit this bag, and it causes the weights to rub against each other, and it's really loud and annoying. So what I ended up doing, like you guys saw earlier in the close-up video of me putting the weights on, is I actually got some foam mats from Home Depot, and I put that underneath the first weight so that I had some cushioning between the floor and the first weight. And then in between each plate, I actually used a little foam pad that, again, you can get at the hardware store. And I put it in between each weight. That way it deadened the vibration. So when I hit the bag now, it sounds pretty quiet compared to how it was without all that foam in between. So you definitely deaden the vibration, and it feels a lot more solid if you put the foam in between. The foam mat and those little foam pads out the door was about $20 at Home Depot. So if you end up getting this and you do use the weight plate method, make sure you get yourself a couple of foam pads, and that will help this out drastically. It'll drastically improve the user experience when you're using this Cobra bag. Again, this can go to a minimum height of about 48 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up. So you can see I'm about 5'8". At its lowest setting right here, it's about, I'd say solar plexus level. So if you have kids at home that want to use it, you can lower it down to that height, you know, to a kid that's about 4 feet tall. That's going to be, you know, the height right there of their eyes, and they can hit it too. And you have some good reflex to it at that height. And or you can go all the way to 65 inches, excuse me, and bring it all the way up here. So, you know, you can see when I pull all the way out, I'd say where that screw is, this is about the maximum height you want to go with it. So at its maximum height, I'm 5'8". You can see that it's right about nose level with me being about 5'8". Any higher than this, and the bottom of this is actually going to come out. So if you're super tall, that might be an issue for you, because with the reflex bag, the big component obviously is your reflexes, but being able to move your head for a head movement when it recoils back. So again, I'm about 5'8", and it's right here at nose level with me. Any higher than that, that might be a little bit of an issue. You may be able to modify it to where maybe you can weld another piece of pole to the bottom that you can bring it up higher. But again, I'm about 5'8", and that's about as high as it gets. It's about 65 inches. So 48 to 65 inches is going to be the maximum height and the minimum height. So let me go ahead and set this to show you guys how it works. You do have, again, this little set screw with the knob on there, which is a machine screw, which basically just tightens down on this pole. One thing I wish it had was a little hole in here. That way when you put the screw in, it goes right into the hole instead of just kind of going against the metal. That's something I could probably modify myself, just using a drill and drilling a hole into this metal. And then you have this 9-inch automotive grade steel spring right there. You can see it does take a little bit of breaking in. Initially, when I first got it, it was a pretty stiff spring, but I've been using it for about 2 months now, and it's broken in pretty well, and I really like it. This bag actually works out really nicely. So let me go ahead and put my gloves on just to show you guys how it recoils. And then you do have an 8-inch infused foam bag. Again, this bag is not inflatable. It is just one piece of foam that has some firm density to it. And then it is an outside leather layer, or should I say the outside is made out of genuine leather. And then you do have, again, this Phillips screw that holds it on with the washer on top. The foam collar right here, which is, again, really nice because it protects your gloves, or if you're using your hands, which I don't recommend. I still recommend always using gloves with this. But this helps protecting if you're not on with your shot. If you go a little bit lower, it won't mess up your gloves or mess up your hands. So, and one thing about this bag I like is that it has a really erratic movement, and it's really smooth. So you can see here, even with my jabs, it rebounds nicely. Just to show you guys, you can hit it with some good power shots. With some hooks. You can see it does have some vibration to the base, even with the weight on there, but not enough to where it affects the actual performance of the reflex bag. You can hit it with jabs, straights, head movement, hooks. You can do combos with it too, and with relative ease. It has a big enough ball to where you can come up with an uppercut as well. So it's really good for really all kinds of punches, and it's versatile. Another big thing between this and the ringside is I like how this one arcs. And what I mean by arcing is this one kind of mimics more of a double end bag in my opinion. And a lot of you guys are gonna be like, well, why don't you just get a double end bag? It's cheaper. And that is true. I mean, double end bag is really hard to beat because you can get one for like 30 bucks. All you need is 2 elastic cords and it works. The big difference between this and the double end bag is the weight of it. You actually have to punch harder in order for this to rebound much more than you would a double end bag. With double end bag, you can just kind of tap it and it has that back and forth rebound, relatively super easy to do. Just beep, beep, and it goes back and forth. With this, you definitely get more of a cardio workout or more of a conditioning because it forces you to hit harder in order for this coil to rebound back and forth. So in order for it to rebound quicker or go out further, you definitely have to hit it with a harder shot. Where a double end bag, you can just kind of tap it and then it kind of goes back and forth with the rebound. This one, the rebound is dictated by how hard you hit the ball. And again, I haven't had any issues with durability. It's really been durable for me. I haven't had any issues with any of the welds breaking. It seems really solid in terms of the quality of the components on here. And again, I would say the only drawback would be the way it mounts. If you can't mount it securely to the concrete, or if you have like one of those post-tension slabs where if you drill into the floor, it might destroy it. That's the only drawback, because you have that vibration. So I can't really say how the Title weighted bags are with the sand, because I didn't buy it with that. But if you do, again, go with the weighted plates like you see here, make sure you get some foam, and it changes the whole experience with this Cobra Reflex bag. And you can see the spring on mine. I don't have any issues with rebound. I mean, you can really hit it with some good heavy shots and not really worry about the durability. I mean, you can really just hit it with some haymakers. I mean, that's not really what it's meant for, to really just hit with as much power. I always say that's what the heavy bag is for, but again, if you want to mix in some power shots with some speed, you can do so. And you can see that it stays relatively firm as long as you have a good amount of weight on there. Again, head movement. And that foam collar, again, is really nice. If your shots are a little bit off, you don't have to worry about your hand hitting the metal or jacking up your gloves. To work your defense. So again, definitely a nice tool to have at the house. Cost-wise, $299 to $300. I know that's pretty expensive. Again, I'm all about the discounts. If you're able to save some money, by all means. I know Title does a lot of different specials throughout the year, especially around the major holidays. So if you're able to get this at a discounted rate, in my opinion, this is my favorite reflex bag, or Cobra Reflex bag. If you can definitely mount it into concrete, that's probably the best way to go with this. If not, weighted plates or the weighted bags. Just keep in mind, you definitely need a lot of weight, and to reduce vibration, use some foam. So definitely think this is a really nice tool to use at your home. If you are trying to decide between this and the double end bag, they're really close to each other the way they move. The biggest difference is going to be this one definitely gives you a little bit more conditioning, because you have to punch the bag harder in order for it to rebound. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys put them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find this Title Cobra Reflex bag. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.